On Ash Wednesday, our foreheads were signed with the cross, and we heard the exhortation, turn away from sin and be faithful to the gospel. On that day, the church called us to celebrate 40 days of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, 3 disciplines which help each of us not only turn away from sin, but also hear the gospel and act upon it. Prayer draws us closer to God. Fasting helps us become more aware of God in our lives, and almsgiving acknowledges our responsibility for one another. These 3 Lenten traditions lead one into the other, twisting together to form a tether of faith and action that binds us ever closer to one another and to the promise of God's kingdom. These 40 days invite us to grow spiritually as individuals and as community. This is especially evident when thinking about almsgiving. Although we talk a lot about almsgiving during Lent, giving to the poor is a year-round activity. We believe in the dignity of the human person, created by God in God's own image. We believe that people, by virtue of that dignity, have a right to the goods of the earth, sufficient to themselves and their families. We know that the poor hold a special place in the ministry of Jesus. As followers of Jesus, we too act on behalf of the poor and vulnerable. We then are called to be our brothers and sisters' keepers, wherever they may be. On Ash Wednesday, I looked across the landscape of Lent and resolved to keep Lent in a beautiful way. I'm sure you did too. The amazing beauty of Lent is the many creative ways we choose to live out its disciplines. There is no one way to keep Lent, but each way demands resolve and intentionality. On this year's Lenten almsgiving cans is a scripture that reads, Jesus said, "Give them something to eat yourselves." Perhaps this, then, is my lesson from Lent, that it really is up to me, after all, to do the work. It is up to me to make a strong tether binding me to God and to you.